so we were talking about a whole bunch of different topics. I think it is useful to try and focus on one like idea or claim. Is there something that we were talking about that you would like to explore and think about the reasons you think it's true?
Yeah, I guess it was we kind of touched on all my main a lot of my main interests
Cool.
of things. I guess maybe like that thing about the relativity of truth and like how
Okay.
can I trust what I think if you know there's
Yeah,
people
like
yeah
yeah, because you were talking about how you were. Can I talk politics a little bit?
yeah for sure
So you said you were raised a Democrat, and you're starting to like kind of question those ideas, and like how can you know whether these are true, these ideas are true, if
yeah
other people believe the complete opposite, right?
yeah and it's just as true for them as what I believe is true for me.
Right. So is there like if we were to boil that down to a claim, like do you think there is a correct or true position to have, or does it feel like potentially everything is relative, or I don't know,
Yeah,
what are you feeling?
I don't know. Yeah, so like an objective truth, I guess. Uh,
Sure.
I guess if there was, it would be what someone who is unbiased would think is true, I guess. Like someone who was raised like completely neutral,
Okay. Right, so we have a
or
blank slate.
like a veil of ignorance, I guess.
Uh-huh.
Uh, and if they like saw the world and they would, make they would deduce, boil it down to certain truths, I guess,
Right.
and that would be the objective truth.
Okay.
But no one has that, so like no one has that unbiased view of the world. So how can we know what it is?
How would you know when to change your mind?
Would I, if what?
Like on any of these ideas, like if you're coming in with all these preconceived biases and notions, what would make you change your mind?
Me personally,
Yeah.
um, I don't know. That's the scary thing. Like I don't know if there's something that could like I I could be in a couple mindsets. I could be like, okay, I'll change my mind. I'll try to change my mind easily. Like if I see a good argument for something, I'll just change my mind and become a Republican.
Mm-hmm.
Or I could be like, well, I was raised a Democrat and I trust the people who are Democrats, so I'll stay a Democrat even if I see a good argument for
Right.
like conservative values.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think right now, even if I have seen good arguments for conservative ideas, and I still call myself Democrat.
So you feel like you've seen good arguments for a position, but you're
Uh-huh.
holding on to the
Well, I've seen,
original view.
yeah, because I've seen good arguments for both sides, I
Okay.
guess.
So when you see those arguments, well, does it change your confidence in your view?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Up or down?
Down.
Down. Okay. Just double checking. So you do recalibrate
Uh-huh.
based on these arguments. And so then if your confidence goes down, but it doesn't go to zero, presumably, or I don't know,
No.
what would zero be on your scale? Would that be like anti the belief, or just have no belief?
Oh, I guess. Yeah, I think zero would be anti, I guess.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
guess I
so then
guess gotta
50,
choose
like if
one.
you're I'm just trying to calibrate, like if we were talking about numbers, like if you're at a 50% belief, you would see that as sort of
Neutral.
neutral, and then zero. Okay. So then as you hear arguments from conservatives, you would see your confidence go down.
Yeah, or you
But
know what?
go
A
ahead.
lot of the time it's just I understand. It's just my trust in anything that I've been told goes down. Like it's not all like yeah. It's just I'm trying to figure out how to describe it, but I can't trust anything I know because I think that I don't know how to put it into words. But I just understand why everyone thinks the things they do, and I see that's also the reasons I think the things I do. And if we think the things we do for the same reason, but they're opposite, I just can't trust the things that I think.
So like if you both have shared values of, you want to just live peacefully and have family or whatever, be kind to each other,
Yeah.
right? If those are the goals, but the method to get there seem completely polar opposite, you can't trust what you know or something along those lines. I'm not sure if I'm quite capturing the idea, but
Like, let's say one side tells me the right thing to do to achieve that good life is A, and the other side says it's B.
right. Yeah, how do you know which one is the correct one to follow or believe?
Yeah, because, you can't really prove it a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's like, I can see why both of them can be true.
Okay.
Growing up, I think I was told that, this is the way, like, this is what we need to do.
Right.
And then you kind of see, like, the people who think it's the other way, and you've been told that way is wrong. But then you kind of, like, listen to what the people who think it's that way are saying, and you're like, wait, that kind of makes sense also.
So it's kind of like
They kind of both make sense at the same time.
I guess when we're younger, we're thinking about like we have these authority figures in our life. So you have sort of an argument from authority that you trust what they're saying because of who they are.
Yeah.
But then when these other people who are coming and saying something different, you're not you're still trusting them, right? Because you can see their reasoning. Or why would you trust these other people who are saying something different?
Because I guess I see their reasoning as well.
Okay.
I see the reasoning of both sides, but the thing is, when I know that I've been told that the other side's reasoning is wrong. That's what I've been told.
Right.
But now I understand it, and I'm like, well, if they were telling me that the other side's reasoning is wrong, then how can I trust what they were saying? Because I can see the reasoning in the other side.
Right. Yeah, so it's like, well, clearly you were wrong about this. The authority stated that this other group was incorrect and or evil or whatever, and they're clearly not. Then you would question more of what they're saying.
Yeah, I guess it's
Yeah.
something like that.
Okay.
Do you relate to that at all?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's important to question, and I think that maybe we aren't taught how to question authority at the beginning, and ask what are your reasons behind that for believing that. But you said that you understand the reasons on both sides.
Yeah.
So if there are reasons on both sides, is there anything beyond reason that could help us determine, I don't know if I want to say what path to take or what to believe, or can you even control your belief? I don't know if my
Yeah.
question, it's not even a question,
I mean,
sorry, it's just,
I guess what I often think is like, you know, take some things from both sides. Like,
okay.
there's obviously from what I've seen, for me, there's truth on both sides.
Mm,
So, and there's also a lot of bad things on both sides.
right,
Things that
yeah,
are, yeah. I don't know if it's truth is the right word, but like, you know, yeah, there's good on both sides and bad on both sides. So just take the good from both sides
okay,
and leave the bad. But I don't really see, I feel kind of, I don't have a side to pick now. I'm kind of by myself because I don't associate with either side.
right.
And it, you know, you can't really get much done if you're not part of one of the major.
What do you think is something that is good about, coming back to politics for a moment, what's something really that's good about Republicans' belief system? And I'll just say the belief system rather than the people. What do you think is good about that side that's maybe undervalued
Yeah.
by Democrats?
Okay. That's good. Good question because now I'm gonna have to think
Cool.
to defend my claims. Man. Okay. I think patriotism
Okay.
and, you know, having kind of love for your country. That's not really. I don't know if that's a conservative value
Hmm.
because I guess what I've my observation of like the left lately is that, you know, like the West is bad,
Mm.
America's bad, and I understand that. Like I said, I understand the truth in that, but I also understand the value in kind of like, so, like America's good and it does a lot of good things too, and it's like a dissonance, I guess.
Right.
And I think both sides focus too strongly on the extremes. Like
Hmm.
the left focuses too much on kind of down demonizing the West, and the other side focuses too much on glorifying it, or just America, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think what we should be doing is somewhere in the middle,
Hmm.
because, you know, the way you look at it really affects the decisions you make, I think.
Yeah.
So I guess that's one example. I don't know why I'm struggling to think of. Yeah, that's weird, but
Well, I think, yeah, I mean, patriotism is a great example because that's that does seem like something that's emphasized very much on in Republican values,
uh-huh.
and so is it, and you feel like you've seen that it's not emphasized.
Yeah, it's kind of like looked down on, I think, to kind of love America,
Yeah.
because America has done horrible things and does, and, you know, kind of facilitates bad things that happen. But also, in the grand scheme of things, it's done some very good things and amazing things, and why, you know,
Right.
I feel kind of a social pressure not to, you know, all my friends are kind of like Democrats and left, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel a pressure not to say good things about America.
Right. Yeah. Like you would have some ostracization because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, all of this, I don't know how much of it is in my head, you know, like how much of this is real and how
Right.
much of it is just like, I don't know, some part of my mind trying to see patterns where there's not,
Yeah.
and for whatever motives that part of
Yeah,
my
it
mind
feels
has.
like everybody's judging you all the time when
Yeah.
actually we're just getting
And, you
along
know,
fine, maybe. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that's when you really start to feel crazy.
Right.
But,
Cool. Yeah. Well, I know
yeah,
I said 15 minutes, so it's right about there. So this could be, and we have a leaf blower now, so that's
right.
cool. Um, but yeah, Do you have any other questions for me or anything like that?
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know what to expect. Like,
Cool.
is this what it just
Yeah,
typically?
this
You
is
just
the types of conversations we have. Yeah,
okay.
I mean this. Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it kind of felt like it didn't come to a.
sure.
I guess that's just the reality of, there's not really a.
Well, I mean, we could summarize,
Uh-huh.
and that might be helpful. But if we can hear, well, I'll wait a second.
He's walking
But
away.
um, yeah, I mean, we started by talking about the how do we know who to trust and when we should change our beliefs and where our beliefs come from a little bit, and so we talked a little bit about the authority figures and reason, and then came around to this division of Republican versus Democrat,
Uh-huh.
and the source of values. So when we think about, we have our shared values, but then we do seem to have, like in the case of Democrats and Republicans, you're saying that we do have maybe some different core values that we emphasize more, like patriotism, that impact what beliefs we have. Um, and so, is that a fair summary of the
Yeah.
conversation? So then, if you're thinking about how would you apply this in the future and what
Yeah.
to believe going forward, what would you do with that information now? How would you use that?
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I kind of part of me wants to like commit to one thing,
Mm,
but when I can see the truth in both sides, I don't know how I can I can't commit to one of those two sides.
yeah.
So what do I commit to? I have nothing to commit to maybe. I also got to forge my own path or
You,
maybe I'm just looking for
then you,
answers.
yeah.
Maybe I'm just like tell me what's right and I'll follow it. But
Does it feel like a bad thing to be uncommitted?
it just feel I want to use my potential for something.
Okay.
Maybe I am in just like refusing to commit to things that I don't fully believe in because I think that's the right thing to do is, if I don't fully believe in something, shouldn't commit to it. But I do want to commit to some things at the same time.
Why?
Yeah. Why? Because I guess try to make change. Maybe I want to commit to depolarization, maybe,
Yeah.
and like maybe commit to not committing to
Sure.
things.
I think that's a cool commitment.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Yeah, you could be committed to understanding people better.
Yeah. I guess that's a
Yeah.
good thing.
Yeah. Sure.
Well, yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
Appreciate what
Thank
you
you so
do.
much for chatting, Max. And yeah, well, feel free to check out the channel, um, and yeah, if there's anything else we can, you can check out Street Epistemology. I think you would enjoy it.
Yeah, I will. I will.
Yeah.